How y'all doing tonight? PGO, PO, football, funk, black and gold, purple and orange stands for me representing Clemson football, East Carolina football, historical black college football, and the Pittsburgh Steelers football. So, talk to y'all about, as y'all already know, Coach K from Duke is retired. And I don't want to say Coach K built Duke into a national power, but he sustained it because Duke was going to Final Fours before Coach K. Then they went in 77 before he got there. So there was a good football, basketball program before he got there. So it got me to thinking about football programs that were built by certain head coaches. So you got Alvarez at Wisconsin. Pretty much, that was a terrible program when he got there in 1990. They were pretty good in the 60s, I think. But before he got there, it was a pretty average program. Below average program. They had success in the 70s a little bit. So I had to grab my notes. There was a coach named Berman. There was like 52, 45 and 1 with him. He was there in the 70s. But after that, everybody had a losing record before Alvarez got there. Alvarez got big offensive linemen, good running backs. I think that's why him and the coach at Illinois had a falling out because the coach for Illinois wanted to modernize the offense instead of do what Alvarez had him do, was, big offensive lineman, run the ball. That's what he wanted. All right. So next, you're going to go to Frank Beamer at Virginia Tech. Some people that know anything about football know that Virginia Tech was probably a good football program before Beamer got there. Bill Dooley was there. I came over for North Carolina, and Bill Dooley had success at Wake Forest after he left Virginia Tech, but he was pretty successful in the 1970s at Virginia Tech. However, Frank Beamer is the face of that program. Beamer ball, blocking punts, field goals, returning kickoffs. He brought you Michael Vick. He had another quarterback, Druckenmiller, I think, who was a first-round pick. A lot of good running backs, good defensive players. I don't think Bruce Smith was on them, but Earl Thomas, people like that. Staying power. They played for a national championship. They were going for Orange Bowls. They was independent a lot of his time there. They joined the big East in the ACC, but he had major success while he was there. So that's another one. Bill Snyder is probably the best example of building a program. Kansas State, probably one of the worst programs in college football history till Bill Snyder got there about 94. There's nobody until you go back into the 1920s that had a winning record at Kansas State. I think Kansas State was the first one to build major good facilities. They relied on a lot of JUCO players. They also relied on a lot of they were the first one to build like the big facilities like you see at Clemson. They were the first ones to build those type of facilities. So Bill Snyder will be a good example. Of course, got Bobby Bowden. Now, before Bobby Bowden got there, the two other head coaches was terrible. But if you go look in the 1960, 1970, Florida State still had a very good program. I think the coach was named Patterson. But before Bobby Bowden got there, Florida State wasn't doing what they were doing. And they had staying power. Florida State is an excellent program. I know they're down right now, but look under Bobby Bowden, they hold I think the most consecutive finishing in the top 5. I think from 1987 to 1990. Great players like Charlie Ward, Ward Dunn, Derrick Brooks, the list goes on and on. Deion Sanders, who else you can ever name. He built that program into a powerhouse. He's the reason why Florida State is what Florida State was. I mean, even after he left, Jimbo Fisher, even I think he's responsible for running it to the ground, was very successful under with the work that Bobby Bowden did. So that brings me to this. My question is, who in college football was able to build a program like Coach K that lasted for all the success? Coach K got 5 championships. I know football is a little bit different because a lot of those championships are voted on, but who has the staying power that Coach K has that built their program from scratch? So like Coach K. All right.